pause for a second to let everyone catch up. I'm so sorry if I was moving too fast. Thank you for letting me know so you guys can catch up.
So as you can all hear, I've got Erika in the background doing the swipe.
Sure.
So, and I'm swiping along with her. Hey Erika, hey Jeff, hey Clara, hey Rhonda, hey everybody. How you doing? Where you guys are using Dark Turquoise. I'm going with the Violet Plum.
Do the tints we buy from you say they're base tints?
So the Color Passion pastes are base tints. She didn't make them to be that way, but they just have that reaction. So every one that I've used that is this brand, which is Color Passion, will act as a base tint. You don't have to use them that way. They're just not going to sell that much on top. So try to keep it under.
Somebody's asking, what did you get? Send off with your kit. I'm sorry. I mean, what came in the kit?
So in this kit came this one only, because every kit is different every month. This one came with a 15-inch round cradle board. It came with the Black Passion.
I've got a 40 centimeter
Color Passion. It came with
board.
Color Obsession Snow White. It came with 007 from Color Obsession, and it came with Dark Turquoise from Just Resin.
And I'm using
It also came
Just
with
White,
4 stir sticks that are
titanium
reusable.
white from
A mixing stir stick when you mix your Part A and Part B that is reusable. It came with the cups
Just
to
Resin.
mix your resin in, as well as cups
I
to
am
lift
using
your board off of your
black Color Passion.
surface.
The
with
gold, however, I'm
wiping
using
paper
Barnes's
and
pale
four
rich
coasters.
gold.
There's also an option to add on a heat gun, a torch, and so if you chose that option, then it came with a torch as well.
Somebody's asking when we get the black pack again.
It should be at the house now, actually. So as soon as I get back in the studio, it'll be there.
Okay, so just mix the gold up. Wait.
Stacy's gonna come say hello. Everyone's still mixing their resin and pigment, so I just introduced. Yep. I just wanted to introduce you because you're awesome. Hey.
For some reason, I didn't get my posters.
My bad. I will.
I'm having everybody send you a text if they've got a question directly about that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I'm so
If I
excited
look
to
at
watch
email.
you in person and be like right next to you, not have to watch you from a screen.
It's different.
Different when you're like right here now.
I know, it's awesome. I love it.
Oh, I'm gonna do a geo with you guys. I'm gonna have y'all show me how to use Bondo to do all the brackets.
My husband will absolutely take care of that, right?
Rhonda,
I've even got my glitter glass now. It arrived from the States, so from Miss E.
So
Thank
you
you.
See a really cool effect.
So I'm going to.
We did Peacock Granite, the 3 of us today. So go on to our page, Artisan Design Concepts. I think my husband tagged you guys both.
It's a little, no, I can tag. It's a little pixelated at first, but it gets better.
It gets better.
So go check it out. It was really fun. Really, really fun.
So I just want to say real quick, I'm so honored to have these girls here. We do our classes once a month, and I love what I do, but this is a special time.
Wish I was there with you guys, but
Alright.
So guys, these girls have been working really, really hard today. That's why we're all kind of dragging a little bit
Our
on the tail
voice
side.
moving slow.
And I had to drag
We're
Rhonda
all
over there.
tired.
Yeah.
We had 30 people in here today, so we're a little.
Your voice is going. Oh
I'm
man.
losing my voice.
Oh,
So,
stop talking.
alright,
Grease
so
in
I'm
the
gonna go
pan.
get your cerveza.
Uh-huh.
Knock it out.
We're gonna walk over here.
I'm making sure I don't get my jacket in the
Alright.
resin. This board is
As soon
pretty
as Jeff
big.
comes back over here and adjusts the camera, I will continue on with the class. I hope everyone's caught up. If not, let me know. Also for these classes, since they are, I can't see what you're doing, which, by the way, I do Skype classes if you ever want a one-on-one class. Since I can't see what you're doing, it's always nice to have a friend with you that can be like, obviously I can't type, so I would say, hey friend,
Hey,
slow down.
friend.
So, just for future.
We're having
My
some parties about
other
where you
half
got
is
your
actually,
I
well,
guess I should
my
probably
daughter
make
has
one.
decided she didn't want to do this class. She's
This
got
came from
fishing,
Amazon. I don't
so
have it linked in our
I
affiliate
can't
link
ask any
down below.
questions.
But I will.
But
I'll
really,
add
I'm
that.
just
I
enjoying
should just
having
get
someone
Claire
else to add along
logins too.
with
You can be like, I'll
and
add
doing it
Tag
at the
him
same time.
Ooh,
So
so much power.
Right?
the last time I did a
Okay.
swipe like
So as
this
soon as we get our camera situated, I will move on with
was
the next one. As you can
with
see, I put
Jeff
down
and
a
Erika when
thumb
they
of
came
black,
to
but it's
Australia
now grown
last
to
year.
2 thumbs because
Um,
resin self-levels, and as it does, it spreads out a bit. And that's okay for the black though, because the background's black, so whatever.
As long as you can still see him before your line.
Sure, exactly.
so at this point I can't see if
So
Erika's put a black down.
next color I'm going to put down is the white because I want the dark turquoise, since it is so dark, to mix and mingle with it so it's brighter and it stands out from the black background. When you add color, always start your drizzle off of the surface, because if you start on the surface, you'll get that teardrop look, that blob
Okay,
of color,
there it's all
the blurb.
Gives you a nice clean line.
You just want to go right through it.
down.
I'm probably going to do 2 lines.
Rebecca, we can make you a jacket with the lips on it. No problem.
So
Hey JJ.
What's up, JJ?
Whenever I do negative space, I try to give some kind of analogy. And the analogy I like to use is when you're at a buffet and you don't want to eat a lot, you don't dine in, you need to get smaller plates and put less stuff on it. So for this, I use smaller cups because I want to use less.
There's a big hole in here. I've even got my heater going.
Less pigment, because I don't want this to be overrun with color. I want it to keep the negative space. I want to have restraint. So next one I'm going to pull through is the dark turquoise. I'm going to do the same way. I'm going to start off the piece and run a couple lines through it. And for the gold, maybe I'll run 1 line. No, I'll do 2 lines. I'll do 2 lines, but they'll be thinner
Yeah, cool.
lines.
My
You
black
don't want to add
down.
a lot of gold right now because it will absolutely take over. It will eat up your entire design. Just
Do you
trust
like
me.
how it mingles with the color? Yes,
I like the mingle, but
I
I
agree.
don't want it to just explode.
It can take over. Definitely.
And it doesn't take a whole lot for it to take over. You can put just a little bit into like a dirty pour or
Look
something.
at this real gold. Blue goes a long way.
I'll get gaudy. I'll get gaudy. Okay, so let's do a couple of
the biggest pour.
We're right. We'll do real quick lines. The quicker you go, the thinner your line will be, obviously, because it's got to drip off, right? And then the next is what people consider the hard part. So I'm not gonna
Pop and bop.
chuck them up a bit. We're gonna go a couple more minutes and then we're gonna do the thing. You can use a torch, but it's harder to control with a torch. It's probably the hardest to control with a torch. If you use a heat gun, just make sure you don't have your heat all the way up if you're gonna use a heat gun. Do like halfway. I'm gonna use swiping paper because I can control that best. And we did swipe last week. Nope, last month. So if you were a part of that class, you should already have your swipeness ready. Swipeness. It's official. It's a technical term. So I'm going to use half sheets because I don't want to just pull all the color through. I want to be able to control just this amount. If you weren't part of our swipe class, I will review some quick tips about this. You don't want to put your swipe paper in vertically because you're just going to scrape. You want to lay it down flat and make sure your ends are rolled up, because if I were to try to do it this way, it's just going to grab and drag, and I don't want that. When I lay this down, I'm going to take about a pinky width of resin. I want it to soak up on this edge. And I'm going to pull it through, and at the end, I'm going to turn it like a quarter turn. And I'm going to let the corner be the last thing touching. Just like during that swipe class. Alright, is everyone ready, or should I slow down?
Oh, let's find out. They might have sticky palms.
I tell people to have a friend with them, so you can be like, friend, tell her to slow down. And sometimes people tell me to slow down. Actually, people have already told me to slow down. So also, something to note, you don't want to put your swiping paper in the black area. That needs to be under the color. So aim for the turquoise or the gold or the white. That needs to be on top. So whatever color you lay your swiping paper in is going to be your top color. Pick any color other than your base. And in this piece, it's going to be black as your base. So we're going to lay it down and let about a pinky's width of epoxy soak into the swiping paper. And you're going to move real slow and pull towards you, not away from you, because you'll have more control that way. And you can add some movement, or you can pull straight, but at some point, start to turn it and slowly pick up till only a corner is left in there. The gold is almost taking over, and then I put ultra
Looks
minimal.
so good though.
I love when it interacts with like dark turquoise, for example.
That is beautiful. Love it.
All the first.
See how the gold
I
is
definitely
peekabooing through? After I hit it with heat, it'll actually like more of it'll lift. It's just what this particular gold does.
I'm definitely doing it.
Okay.
And you can see there's already cells popping up in this area. After I hit it with heat, more of it will start, because if you hit it with heat, it'll
It's
disperse.
crazy. Trying to move slow.
Rebecca, today's the day to get swiped down.
Stop punching, Papa.
Guys better than mine.
All right. Rebecca, take a gentle touch. Go slow.
You're not adding any pressure. You're just letting the resin keep the contact, because it's wet, so it's gonna hold on to it. All right, so let's do the next one. Again, I'm not pushing down at all. I'm just taking my time, pulling through, and then about halfway through, I'm gonna start turning and start picking up the front all the way down to the corner, so that it has this tail. Because if I just pulled it and lifted, it's going to have a blunt stop, and that's, for me, not attractive. If you like it, roll with it. This is art. Don't stress about it. Whatever you like, that's what it should be. For
If you
me,
start getting breaks in it, it means you're pulling too fast.
yeah, if it's skipping, you're going too fast, or your resin's too cold. If it's cold in your space, like under, let's say, 70 degrees, then you're going to have to add a little bit of heat to get it to move more easily. If it's not under 70 degrees and you're still getting skipping, you need to slow down. If you think about it, you want it to stay in contact with the resin, and if you move fast, it's not going to grab. You want it to pick up and redistribute the resin as you move. So just take your time, pull slow. We're not in a hurry. Thanks. Now we're going to the next one. I always pull towards me. If you get yourself in a situation where you pull away from you, just make sure you drop your swiping paper at the end instead of pulling it back through your piece, because it's likely to, if you pull this way and you try to bring your paper back through, you're risking dripping through your artwork. So if you swipe away from you, just drop it.
So Evelyn's asking if she can use the swiping paper again.
You can, but you're gonna risk transferring everything that you have on it to your next swipe. And so for me, I don't want to do that for this piece, but if you look at your swiping paper and you're good with whatever color is on there, then you can use it again. But keep in mind, that's going to be the top color. If it's black, then you're not going to get any of the cells in the design, and it's going to cover up any of the other colors. So just be mindful of that if you want to try to use it again. I'm not telling you not to, I'm just telling you it may not do what you think it's going to do. So if I tried to swipe this one again, it could work, but there's a lot of black in there, and so I'm not going to get any effects if I try to use it twice. Great question. So I like it all. I just have this break right here where I started a little bit high. So I'm going to pull this through just this corner, just like we were doing before. Now that we did this side, I'm going to turn it around so that we can do the other side. If you like it just this way, leave it. This is a class on restraint. You want to have that break in color, all the negative space. You don't want to eat it up with all the designs. This is supposed to be simplistic and elegant. So for this, if you have this size board, I did 4.5 swipes.
So Resin Art by Robin said, Dammy, you should be an art teacher to explain things perfectly.
Thank you, I am. That's what I'm doing today. For this. But in person, I don't know. So I'm going to add another line of the teal and another line of the white because I swiped through most of what I had to the other side. This is going to be a quick line. You don't want to add too much. Again, you want it to be negative space. You want to have that limit of color.
So it looks like we got a first swipe out of Susan and Evelyn for the first time.
How did it turn out, ladies?
Well, we got a little smiley face with hearts in the eyes, so I think it turned out
I'm going to
pretty
call
good.
that a success then.
Yep.
Okay. So now let's get our next swiping paper.
Okay, you gotta do the sound effect. Teresa just put in 1999.
What? B, I need a tip sound.
Wah, 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 wah.
Surround sound.
It's the club sound.
It still works. You can do wah wah instead of brown brown.
It's just a little different.
Yeah, just a little extra flavor.
I kind of like it, but not really.
It's exactly the same, but completely different. Alright, so when I do the other side of these, it's important to note that you don't want to end up with like a center part of hair unless that is your jam. You can have a center part all you want to. No judgment on center parts. I don't, for me and my artwork, I don't want it to be perfectly this and then perfectly that way. Unless you're doing a feather, which is a great technique to do a feather. I don't want that, so I'm going to try to pick up, see where this gold is curling in right here? I'm going to try to pick up some of that and pull it this way towards me so that it continues the design into the second side instead of an exact part of the water, so to speak. So you're going to make sure your ends aren't curled down. Let it soak up. Take your time pulling. And this time you're going to pick up your right corner instead of the left corner like you did on the other side. Because we're going this way, you want it to all have the same continuous flow and movement.
So Teresa Wilson has put in $2 also.
Thank you so much. Where's my buzzer person?
I said sorry. buzzer is a little faulty right now.
I know, it's short circuiting. Our buzzers have tacos in their mouths, so. Alright, so let's pick up the next one. Make sure your edges are curled up. Horizontal, not vertical. Let it pick up. Take your time. Give it a little wiggle. Your right corner is going to be the last thing touching. The gold is still taking over.
You gotta feel it in his box. Come on.
There's no talking it down once it's in there. No one? No, that's what she says.
Oh yeah, we got
That's
one.
what she said.
We got one from JJ here
Thank you,
and
JJ.
Mattify.
And Mattify. Hey Mattify, I have your coaster, I didn't forget. Alright. Moving on. Again, take your time. This should be fun. Don't stress out about it. Art should be enjoyable. It doesn't have to be perfect every time. It should just, but it should be fun every time.
It's a class, that's where we learn the things. Time to make the mistakes and figure it out.
Yep. So now that I have all of my colors swiped through, I'm going to hit it with just a little bit of heat to pop any bubbles I may have folded in through the swipe technique. Now, this side seems to be brighter than this side. So if you're finding yours is looking like that and you want to adjust something, you can do what I call a dip swipe. So I'm going to add just some color onto my swiping paper, just a little bit. I hope you guys can see. Let me just do it here because I don't want to make a mess. So I added just a little bit of color to it. And I'm going to swipe through, half of this one again. Because this side is lighter than this side. So just set it down and let it soak up a little bit. And then swipe it out the same way you did before. But since it's this side and we're going this way, you want the left side to be down. Unless you were on that side, then you want the other side to be down. It's a little bit too much of a difference in color, so I'm going to swipe through one more time by picking up that dark turquoise.
This negative space right there, I would leave that.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, so subtle right here. And the black with this black, like it's a different contrast. Like
Yeah.
It looks so nice.
Sorry for all that movement, you guys. This looks so fun because it brought some of the black through and that dark turquoise. So it's all going to sell because I have that color passion black under everything else. Except for through here, no cells because I picked up black on the top. So you're not going to see as many cells right there. Put that camera away. Oh, Rhonda said,
Okay.
So, just want to let everybody know I tip.
Oh! Wow, wow, wow.
I just want to say thank you for all the help that you gave me today. I love you. Okay? You did.
I made a mess for you.
You did. I want my $20 back after coming.
I'll
Give
give
it
it
to
to
us
the
here.
Thank you, Rhonda. Look at this part. Okay, that's probably my favorite part. Right now.
Judy's in the house.
Judy! Do you guys like the amount of light that's in it? Should I add some more of it, or are y'all good with a darker looking piece? Anyway.
I like the turquoise.
I love that. That's, I
Gold
love
and
how
turquoise. I would love to
the
see
gold and
more
the
of that.
white, like, man. This is the epitome of negative
Negative
space
space.
and control and restraint.
Yeah.
You
You think
learned it.
safe?
You're good.
Nailed it.
Done.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you can stop there and
But-
that's
Then you should. That's a Rhonda should have all the t-shirts.
Oh, I got the wrong ankle.
Before she
I'm
takes
looking
it
over there.
back.
I can come a little closer. Don't fall down.
This is my favorite part right here.
Oh my gosh.
Bubbles.
Okay. I'm changing my boat. Okay, stop, Rhonda. Walk away.
Now you should have some resin left over. I have all of the resin left over. I don't have any coasters with me, but you at home should use some coasters.
Oh, do you have some coasters?
Get in there, Paul. I gotta get
They
there.
cost $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I just wanted pictures of it.
Ah, we have a first-time user of resin, Sharon. Uh-oh, Sharon, you're gonna be hooked now. Sorry. Breaking the bad news to you. Nice to meet you. A long time ago. Jennifer, yes, it will react the same way. Jennifer is asking, she has some Stone Coat base black.
Yeah.
So will
same.
that react the same as the color passion? So, yep.
I don't have any spray room. Wood. So, Rhonda saved me and I have some coasters. So we're gonna do a couple of coasties.
Somebody's asking for a close-up.
Okay. So Jeff's gonna be the close-upper.
Videographer's gonna do that.
So the idea for negative space is simplicity and elegance. And you want to really be able to control where the eye moves across your surface. So you want everything to flow in the same direction.
Gorgeous. Looks like a meteor going through space. Yeah, I can see that.
It looks so much better coming this way through that light.
Absolutely stunning.
Like you can barely see it.
It does look like a mermaid tail. I would be this mermaid.
Guys, I've been looking at what you've been looking at, and only recently they'll walk up over there, and it is like, wow in person.
Wowzers.
Lousy. So I'm going to set that over there and do a couple of coasters. So these are our clear acrylic coasters that I don't have in stock right now. But the great thing about them is that you peel one side off and you pour on this side, and the back you leave on, and then after it's set up, you peel the back off, and there's zero cleanup. I don't care if you leave it lifted on stilts or throw it at your friend. It's gonna be an easy cleanup 100% of the time. I don't
Looks
have
like
them
a
in stock right
magical
now.
fishtail, and G says beautiful.
Thanks, Judy. These are particularly awesome if you're using transparents. The dark turquoise is a little translucent, but not completely. So I'm going to use the clear that I have left as the base.
Emma's asking how long before they set enough to use.
So you don't want to really use coasters with resin on them for maybe 7 days. They're not full cure till 30 days, but you could ship them after 7 days. I like to do a test by putting my nail in the corner, and if it leaves an indentation, I'm not shipping it until it doesn't. Because if you ship it while it's still accepting like textures, then whatever you wrap it in to ship it, it's going to end up wherever it's going with that texture in it.
Robin's asking, have you ever done a negative space without using the base?
Yeah.
It makes the holes in it.
No. The holes are because of the base tints. Now you could do it with a top selling pigment, like just using the Color Obsession white or titanium from Just Resin or angel white from Res. But they're not going to be as easy to get. You're going to have to do a lot more heat manipulation to do that. It's not impossible, it's just a little bit more difficult and time consuming. I'm not going to go ahead and put gold on this yet. I'm going to use my torch to manipulate it. Nope, use a heat gun. Right. I'm just going to use, as soon as it starts moving, back up. So that it doesn't, you don't want to scorch your resin, which is super easy to do. How fun.
Everyone's saying this was so fun. Thank you.
My pleasure, Evelyn. Thanks for joining us. Again, I do this on the 25th of every month. We have a kit on our website, artistilldeath.com. It's a different class every month, and this coming 25th will be a geode. Now, so many people want to learn how to do geodes. My kit will include everything that you need except for PPE and a heat source, but you can do an add-on for a torch if you would like. This is so fun. Let's bring you guys a little closer for this. I'm going to try to move slow enough. So wherever you're seeing that brown right here, that's going to end up being clear, so you'll see straight through everything that's brown right there.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, but you weren't here, so.
Wow.
Isn't that fun?
It's not even the same color on it.
So people are already asking about the cost for the second kit. I'm assuming the geode.
It's live. The kit is live.
If it's on?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Geo kit?
Yeah, for next month, it's going to be a geode.
That's crazy, like the blue.
And that's, So for next month, we are doing a geode. If you have requests for a class that you want to do, just shoot me an email, shoot a text, get in touch with me however you want to, and let me know what you guys want to learn. We'll do demos on demand.
Demos on demand.
On demand.
Oh, gee. Whatever you guys want to do, we're here to teach you guys. We're happy to help. Claire's going to add a link for next month's kit, which will be a geode. And I hope you guys join us for that as well. I hope you learned something. I hope you were entertained. I hope you have a piece that you love. If you didn't get something from the kit, that's my bad. Just shoot me a text or a text, because I'm so backed up on emails, it's going to be forever. And I'll send you those whatever missing items. Just shoot me a text.
There's an interesting question here. You can only get cells with two colors, right? In other words, I won't be able to swipe clear over the base tint and get cells, correct? There's actually two questions there.
Let me
I've
get
like 3 colors in
Do
some
you have
before.
one more what?
Possibly 4.
Let's see. Wait, am I looking at that one?
So I'll do that demo.
Demo on demand starting early.
So I've been asked that question before, and I keep thinking about doing a this, but I keep forgetting. So let's just do it right now. The thing about put clear over a base tint is you may not see it. If it does sell, you're still going to be looking through a clear to a black. In this case, the base tint is black. So I don't know that you'll be able to see it if it does work that way, but we'll just try it out right now just to see.
My Bauer got his first swipe successfully done today.
Yay!
He's happy. Senior Helper says, Rhonda, you have a really cool place. Reminds me of Stone Cone Countertops.
Oh,
True.
thank you. How sweet. Who said that?
It's fine.
Lisa Fine, she's one of our moderators.
Thank you.
So let's
You're
put
welcome
some
anytime.
clear down. Let's put some clear down and we'll do a swipe and see what happens. So this is a little bit far back, but we'll zoom in. See, as you can see right now, I know I put the clear through the middle. I can see a slight difference in color, light. But when I swipe over it, you're not gonna really see. If it does go, so we're gonna give it a shot. So I don't know if it's selling or not because when you swipe, you're thinning out the color that you're pulling over. So it would be near impossible to tell if it's in without adding any other color in it. So unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Whereas if you pulled a color over it, it's almost instantaneous that you'll see something happening.
So Mattify is saying to sell with clear. You put clear down first, then base tint, then swipe clear over.
You're still not gonna see it. Like I swiped clear over this.
I just reading the stuff.
Sure. And I would love to see it, Mattify. I'd love to see what you're. I'd love to see it. I couldn't see the clear, whether it was clear, then base, then clear. It's clear, you know? So, I'm sure it would look cool. Do you wanna? Okay, Lucille.
Oh, just a hint.
So I hope you guys had a good time. I had a blast. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, shoot me a text with any requests that you have. I hope you join us for our next class, which will be an elegant white trio. Also, Rhonda. And yeah, post pictures of the class that you did, whatever you created. I would love to see it. If you need help to know if something went wrong, just circle it and ask me. What is this? Why is this? How can I fix it? I'm happy to share any information I have. We'll share with you guys. You know, we don't keep secrets on the channel. And be kind to one another. You never know what someone's going through. Till next time.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. Everybody's got to join in.
Oh yeah. So whenever we say bye on the channel, then we all jump in and say, I said bye.
Say what?
Everybody says, I said bye.
We got bubbles again.
We got bubbles.
So let's not do this.
I said bye.
Sorry. That was a screw jump right there. So, till next time, you guys. Bye.
I said bye.
Love it. So much.
So I've still got some coasters to do. I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup here.